Hi there, and welcome to my review of The Americans Season 2. I'm Simon Canton. This is a little bit experimental since YouTube has completely changed their broadcasting software, so hopefully this is working. So, The Americans Season 2. I loved Season 1, which was up on Netflix about 3 weeks ago. And I thought it was going to be in for a long wait for season 2, but it was up nearly immediately. I guess I'll get the kind of review out of the way first. Overall, the season was almost as strong as season 1. I thought there was a few things that were a little bit shaky. Please use... sorry, there's technical stuff coming up on my screen. I'm not sure what I'm meant to do. Okay, anyway, I'll continue, and if it looks crappy, then I'll just delete the video. So, what was I talking about? So, season 2 was not quite as good as season 1, but it was still very good. I thought the issue was basically that there's a very limited number of characters, so there's not many directions they can kind of go. So I kind of... so there was a little bit too restricted, I think. So to give it my spoiler-free review score before I go into spoiling everything, I probably give it about 4 stars out of 5, I think. Meaning that I really liked it. It may have suffered a little from binge watching fatigue, season 1 and then straight into season 2. So it might have benefited by being a little spaced out. Yep, 4 stars out of 5. Okay, so now I'll go into my spoilers for the season. So if you don't want to see spoilers, stop the video now. So, I guess the main issues I had were with the ending, where, as I say, it's going to be a spoiler. So, Jared, who's the kid of the parents and the daughter that are killed at the start, he's the murderer, which made little sense to me in terms of the character. Because no matter how much of a fanatic you like, Elizabeth is probably the most fanatical, and if she was asked to kill her family, I think she'd say no. I'm pretty sure she'd say no. Like, so if Jared is essentially Elizabeth in his fanaticism, whereas Philip is kind of more, he's not quite as for the cause as maybe Elizabeth is. So if Jared is asked to kill this family, I just don't buy it. So there was that I had a problem with. The other thing I had a problem with was what's the name? Lariat? Something else? Hang on a second. Larrick, not Lariat. Larrick. Andrew Larrick. A character I really liked. So he's cut a swath of murder through most of the KGB. Their new KGB handler I didn't buy was going to survive for a second. I marked for death as soon as she turned up. Because I just think their previous handler, where's her name? Claudia, played by Margaret Martindale. I just think she's far more of an interesting character, and I think forced back to being with her, really. So I hope that they end up with her in season 3. Season 3 obviously is showing at the moment in the States, but I don't have access to it. I don't know when it's going to come on Netflix. So I didn't buy Jared, and I didn't. So then, Larry all of the KGB agents, and then he stops with the main characters because reasons. He says he's going to hand them in, and then he doesn't care about consequences for himself. That was a really weak reason. So I'm going to get vengeance on the guys who killed my brothers in arms. I'm going to get vengeance on the guys who killed my brothers in arms. Oh, you're the guys who killed my brothers in arms? Yeah, I'm going to, to give you into the authorities. That didn't work for me. That's really the main reason why it kind of lost a star for me as a season, because the ending is kind of important. That up until that point, it had been just as entertaining, I think, in season 1. Especially the Paige stuff I thought was great. Someone mentioned that they kind of wussed out a bit on calling religion a load of hokum. They did at one stage say she wasn't obsessed with those children's fairy tales, but this is two devout atheists, to put it that way, who were supposedly aghast at the fact that Paige was into religion, yet they even talking to each other, skirted around the subject the whole time. And I've known plenty of devout atheists who would have just said, "Oh my God, why is she believing this?" So that was an interesting thing as well. But I did like the religion thing. I bought that Paige would be into religion as a cause, and I'm really interested to see now that Elizabeth says maybe Paige should be. She hates having to sleep with all these skeezy guys and then murder people, so why she'd want that for her daughter is a bit strange. Like, it's one thing to volunteer yourself for those things, but I mean, I'm a parent. I wouldn't volunteer my children for anything horrible like that before I'd ever let them anywhere near it. Yeah, in a can't see ever allowing the KGB to manipulate my children, so I don't understand why Elizabeth would think that was okay. So it's just a little bit like everyone has their weaknesses in this KGB. Dan Beeman, obviously, who has now gotten rid of every point of weakness he had. So I can't, like, Philip and Elizabeth's weakness is their family. I think that they care so much for their family that they do anything. So for Elizabeth to then go, but Paige can be pushed into this life of horror, just doesn't seem realistic. Beeman as well, I noticed this, that in his dream, Martha is putting files into a bag to sneak out. So I thought when the dream sequence started, oh, she's being very indiscreet. And then, like, he goes into his whole thing of seeing random stuff. But he knows he's sneaking files out, because otherwise he wouldn't have seen that in his dream. Which means once he doesn't have all of this Nina stuff weighing him down, then he's going to go, wait a second, what's Martha doing with all those files? Imagine that. And then he will follow Martha to Philip, and yeah, that'll be interesting. It could be a showdown in season 3. I think the Americans really runs a risk if it goes beyond season 3 of becoming one of those shows that's just formulaic, whereas at the moment it's not formulaic at all, but it could be if it's allowed to kind of continue for 7 seasons or something. Yeah. So I would hope that there'll be a showdown in season 3, and that'll kind of wrap it up, would be my hope. It's an American show, and American shows always outlast their welcome. So overall, yeah, 4 stars out of 5. I'm looking forward to seeing season 3. And yep, thanks for watching.